Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video because of what I'm fixing to do and to show you. But I'm in a big hurry because I want to put this guy out. This is, make sure I say it right, the Stealth Cam DS4K transmit camera. And we're going to talk about all the specs and everything here in a little bit, but it's midday right now and I want to get this camera out ASAP so I'm not out there in the evening scaring the critters when it's prime time, deer 30. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get everything out of the box here real quick, show it to you. We'll talk about the specs here in a little bit. But before I leave the house, I'm going to make sure I have everything I need before I drive all the way out there and put this camera out, and then I forgot something. So looking through the window in the side, looks like this one came with a memory card, but I believe I'm also going to need some batteries. Oh, we're fixing to see here. So, in the box, we got a strap. Most of them come with a strap so you can attach it to a tree or a post or whatever. So, this one came with a Stealth Cam 32 gigabyte memory card and the DS4K transmit camera itself. So, I was looking for the antenna. There it is right there. Blended in with my background there. So again, I'm in a hurry and I'm trying to put this together so I can go set this thing up and show it to you without spooking some critters. So on the top, pretty self-explanatory. There's only one way to put on the antenna, and then we have a port for a battery pack or solar panel, which for this one I think I definitely am going to do because I'm putting this camera out in one of my biggest hot spots. I try to not go out there very much ever throughout the whole year to kind of, you know, leave the human presence and scent out. So again, I want to make sure everything is good. Yep. I've got to download the Command Pro app. That's something else we'll talk about, so we can get our pictures. This is a cellular trail camera, but looks like I need AA batteries. So let me get those batteries and I'll be right back and show you a little bit more about it. All right, so like I said, I'm trying to have all this ready and put together so I just can go out to the woods, put the camera on the tree, and we're ready to go. So I can't remember, I feel like I told you it only took 6 batteries, but this one actually takes 12. This little pod pops out of the center of the camera right there, and then right here is your IDs where you're going to connect it to the cell phone app, the Command Pro app. So I'm going to show you my screen record here and kind of walk you through it as I'm doing it quick. All right, so I'm going to try to screen record this and show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm going to put the battery pack back in there, and then I'm going to turn the camera on, and then I'm going to hit sync. And plus on the app. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got to get the code there in there. So I hit the plus sign on there and then hit the code. And then it says, may take several minutes. I'm going to put the battery back in there. Prepare your device for activation. Insert batteries, insert SD code, power on camera. Okay. This is exciting. I'm ready for pictures of deer and turkeys. 3 LEDs will flash to indicate the camera is successful in connecting. Okay, camera is registered. Click next to complete the following steps. Next. Yes. I'll let you see the location. And then the screen's already on here. Align camera by dragging on the compass. Continue without direction. Camera registered. Okay, cool beans. And then we got stuff happening here on the screen now too. Cool. Now we just got to pick the plan and do all that stuff. So I'll be right back. All right, now you can see on my phone, it's showing that I have one camera connected. And it's got full batteries and 0 pictures. So I got a plan picked on there now. And I've had this thing charging, so I'm going to put a solar pack on it too. So 12 batteries in the camera. And then this is also going to be on the solar pack. So I'm going to show you guys more about this camera when I get back to the house. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to wait a few days. This is a pretty good spot. I'm going to wait a few days, and then at the end of the video, we'll see some of the pictures and stuff that we got from this camera and see what we think about it. This thing's supposed to take some good cameras, even at nighttime. Good pictures, even at nighttime. But we run out and drive out there and sneak in and get this camera set up quick. All right, so pro tip. Turn your camera off while you're in transit. You pay for these data plans for these cellular trail cameras. You don't want to be wasting them. You don't want to be wasting them taking pictures of the ceiling of your truck. Ask me how I know. I just did that. So I turned the camera off. I'm going to drive out here and get this camera up, and then I'll show you the camera installed on a tree. I'm actually putting this in replacement of another old camera. We won't talk about that brand. And that has since gone foggy and no good on me, so we're going to throw that one in the trash and get this one up so we get some crystal clear images of the deers and everything else we're trying to catch. I also like trail cameras for the simple fact of trespassers. I've caught several trespassers because of trail cameras. But let me get out here and show you. All right, so just to show y'all again what I'm putting out here quick, DS4K transit cell camera, and I'm gonna put this Soul Pack 5X hooked up to it. You'll see how it looks like here in a second. All right, so we're gonna turn it on. Bingo. And we wanna see 3 green lights before we leave. But see, I got the solar panel up here because it's getting sun up here, so should be ready to go. Bingo, we are in action. Shooey. So back at the house, we got good news and bad news. Good news is my phone's already sending me notifications of me just turning it on and walking in front of it, so it's working. But I didn't want to talk real loud there because guess what? There was a monster buck. So when you know it, I park, go over to my passenger side, open the door, and I just had this sixth sense. Somebody's watching me, you know what I'm saying? Look over my shoulder, 20 yards, huge body. Well, there's a buck, and he's probably already got me, so I kind of real slow like got to where I could see his antlers. Sure enough, big 8-pointer. And I may have seen that one on camera before, but like I said, the whole purpose of me running out and driving out there today to get this one hooked up was because the other one I had out there was fuzzy and you couldn't see a thing. So that deer definitely he wasn't spooked and screaming with his tail up. We're talking whitetail here, but he was definitely, hey man, I see you and I'm getting out of here kind of fast, kind of a thing. But story of my life here lately. I'm always in a hurry. Never enough time of the day to get everything I'm done doing. But next, I'm going to check in with you, show you some pictures that I got off of that, and just a little bit more about it before we finish the video. This thing's supposed to take some really good pictures. All right, so the camera's been out for about a day and a half, and I'm going to give you my thoughts quick. Then I'm going to show you a little bit on the app because the app's one of the cool parts about it. So this one was StealthCam DS4K transmit. Takes good pictures. Says it has a 0.2-second trigger speed. That's a lot faster than almost everything out there. And a 100-foot range. Ultra HD 4K and on demand. So you can boop, tell it, hey, take me a picture, and it'll take you a picture. Well, I can honestly say, best camera I've ever used easiest camera I've ever used as far as the setup goes. That's one of the things that gives me absolute anxiety is, believe it or not, just setting the date and the time. So I've been running trail cameras for 10 years now. I've got a couple out right now that I never set the date and the time because it was too complicated and I didn't have the patience to fiddle with it. So on those two trail cameras, it's like I don't know what the actual time is when that deer popped up because I couldn't figure out how to set the date on it. This automatically set all that for me. Literally all I did was put the 12 batteries in it, connected it to the app, slapped that battery pack in the thing, and then turned it on. And everything else is automatic. The app actually has settings in the app that you can select, but super easy setup, and yeah, takes good pictures. That's what's important to me when it comes to trail cameras. How complicated is it to set up, and is it easy to use and take good pictures? And this thing checks all those boxes. So now, let me show you in the app here. I'll pull it up. Alright, so I'll put this screen recorder up on here. So on my phone, I'm going to click the Command Pro app, and it comes up here. You can see that's the only camera I've got on here right now, the DS4K Transmit. You can see it says it's got full cell service, full battery. It says I've got a solar panel plugged in, which I did. And that too, I recommend a solar panel. Now, if you're running like 50 cameras, that can get expensive if you got a solar panel on every single one, but especially a spot like this one where it's a ways to get to it. You know, if you think about, well, if you're driving out there, how much is the gas going to cost? Well, if I went out there 2 or 3 times, just the gas would cost me about the same as that solar panel. So I like the solar panels on them. And on top of that, if it's a place that takes a while to get to, or also that's kind of like a hot spot where you have a good stand and you don't want to be in and out of there unnecessarily just to change batteries, solar panel is money. And then it shows you how full the card is. So I'm just going to click this, and here's all the pictures. Remember, I said don't turn it on while it's in your pickup because this right here is taking pictures inside of my pickup. Yeah, so there you go. Just turn it off while you're taking it out there. Smart play, huh? I'll just show you this morning. That's a clear picture. And it also has an interesting thing. For nighttime pictures, which I'll show you here in a second, you can see here, there's a pretty good buck. And that buck right there, that's the first pictures that I have of this thing. Like I told you, I had a different camera out there that was fuzzy and foggy. This is the first good picture I have of that deer. There's an antler right there. This is a spot back in the woods where I have a couple salt blocks. So right here, there's 2 8-pointers together that I didn't even know those deer were out there. I didn't even look through these in detail, so I'm kind of excited flipping through here. Look at that buck is sniffing. And you can see the date down there. This is August the 10th. And that buck, it's got a bigger body on it. It's not a giant body, but it's obviously bigger than the deer in front of it. That buck is sniffing. You can see there's a buck back there or not a buck, that's probably a doe back there in the trees, but this says it has like nighttime colorization. I forget what they actually call it. I'm not quickly seeing what they call it on the box here, but it has nighttime colorization, so check that out. Nighttime photos, you click that little 3 color thing and it kind of colorizes them, which is pretty neat. See if we can get another one at nighttime. There's deer in the tree line back there. So here's a nighttime photo. Now that was 5:39 this morning, but it's still dark out. You can see that. Pretty cool. Brings it to life, kind of. And it's also let me know that there's some bucks still passing through there. Either they're going with the does that go to the salt blocks. I didn't see anything licking the salt blocks yet, but that's kind of crazy. Antlers right up on it. There's a spike. There's some daytime photos. There's a turkey on the ground. 1 turkey turkey hen, probably by itself. But yeah, you can see, oh my, there's a 6-point in velvet walking right in front of it. The app just a little bit, you know, you can do that. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that for going through stuff quickly. And then, backed out too far. You can go into the camera settings right here and change the mode and the photo resolution and all that stuff in here from the app. Pretty cool stuff. This thing has a lot of features. Super easy setup. Literally put the batteries in it and go. Connect it to the app. And then this is the solar panel I put on it. Quick tip for this. Actually read the instructions, so make sure you do it right. But you need to charge this right here in the front of it. It has a USB-C plug. But you charge the battery pack solar panel, and then you put it out, and then the sun keeps it going. And normally these things say to face towards the south and kind of tilt them out like that one is. And you guys saw in the video, I hope I videoed it. I was so out there in the woods setting it up, I was so in a rush because one of those bucks, I don't know if it was a 6-pointer or 8-pointer, I think it might have been the 8-pointer, was like 20 yards from me when I went out there in the middle of the day hoping there wouldn't be any bucks around. So I was kind of frazzled out there, but came with everything, the cords and all that. And one thing I will note, if I didn't say it already, that I like about the setup of this camera and the solar panel, it actually is threaded. So it came with adapters and everything where the solar panel threaded into the trail camera. So I've used some in the past that just plug in, and guess what crawls down the tree? Raccoons and possum and squirrels, and they unplug them. I had a camera die a while back. I'm thinking, what in the world? This thing should be lasting like a year, and the batteries kept dying. Well, every time I go out there, the solar panel was unplugged. But that's enough for this video. The DS4K Transit from Stealth Cam gets 2 thumbs up for me. I'm super excited. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. And I always think it's cool when you get a deer that you have pictures of and you have history with, and you never know what'll pop up. You guys run trail cameras, you might have a monster stroll through. I have that happen almost every year running trail cameras. There'll be a monster buck that'll pass through one day and you never see him again. But appreciate y'all watching. I absolutely love looking at the trail camera pictures. I always have mine set up as instant, so the deer walks out, sends it to my phone. But it saves you battery life if you set it to where it'll only upload once or twice a day. But if you got the solar panel, it all lasts pretty good no matter how you set it. But I'm gonna quit rambling. I love talking about pictures of the critters, and we even got a random single turkey on there. But hey, appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think about trail cameras. What do you run? Like I said, I've run a bunch of them. This is the best one as far as ease of setup and getting good pictures that I've ever had. But appreciate y'all watching. See you guys in the next one. Hooty hoo!